Hi, and welcome to The Purpose of Your Life. I'm Mark Chussil, author of Nice Start, Questions Only You Can Answer to Create the Life Only You Can Live. Now, of course, I don't know the purpose of your life. Neither does any other author, no matter how forcefully they tell you what to do. You are the only one who can know the purpose of your life. It's your life, after all. I hope that the stories and questions over the next few minutes help you to achieve that purpose. Kids never say, my goal is to grow up and fulfill society's expectations of me. Kids don't say stuff like that. Kids say stuff like, I want to be an astronaut. I want to be a rock star or a teacher or a firefighter or the president. Kids aren't only full of life, they're full of their purpose of life. Who was Huntington Hartford? Was he the inventor of hunting? Was he the founder of Hartford, Connecticut? Was he named for the Hartford Financial Services Group? Was he a politician for whom Boston's Huntington Avenue is named? Was he a shadowy super PAC political operative? Was he the heir to the A&P fortune? Well, he was the heir to the A&P fortune. The A&P Company is a multi-billion dollar chain of grocery stores in the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic part of the United States. When Huntington Hartford inherited that fortune, he received $90 million. How much do you think he had when he died? He had $10 million. The Wall Street Journal identified him as the supermarket heir who depleted a fortune chasing his dreams. The New York Times said he inherited a fortune and lost most of it chasing his dreams as an entrepreneur, arts patron, and man of leisure. So notice the words they used: depleted a fortune, lost most of it, chasing his dreams. Was he a failure, though, as depleted, lost, and chasing suggest? Why didn't the Journal and the Times congratulate him posthumously for spending his fortune living his dreams? Now, it seems that they didn't consider losing $80 million to be a suitable purpose for his life. He lost $80 million. Honey, did you see that $80 million? It was here just a minute ago. No, I already checked. It's not in my other pants. Okay, you can have less money, but can you lose it? Don't you always get something for it? You exchange it for something: possessions, experiences, opportunities, or gifts. But beyond losing money, the real question is whether it is bad to lose money. I'm not saying that it is or that it isn't. I'm just noticing the assumptions made by the Journal and the Times and by most of us. Here are some ways that people define success. It's not a complete list, of course, and you may have ideas of success that don't appear here. The key thing is that you can define success in a lot of different ways, and your definition of success may change many times in your life. The key thing for your purpose is to get some clarity on what success is for you. To most Americans, the worst errors are financial, and in that respect I have been Horatio Alger in reverse. Who said that? It was Huntington Hartford. How do you feel when you imagine him saying that? I feel sad. The Journal and the Times portrayed him as a failure. He might even have thought of himself as a failure. At the very least, he was aware that he was, shall we say, unconventional. There are strong judgments in our society around money and success. We even use the same word, worth, to describe our wealth and ourselves. What are you worth? Do you think of Huntington Hartford as a failure? It's a rhetorical question, and there's no right or wrong answer, but it's a real question. I'm going to ask you a few questions about purpose and success. Like the other questions in the book, they don't have right or wrong answers, and you are the only one who can answer them. How do you define success? If you are not successful according to your definition, are you a failure? Would you want the people you love to use your definition of success? Imagine that you, 10 years from now, can talk to you today. What would he or she tell you to do? List 10 days when you felt truly alive. What did you do on those days? I'd like to tell you a frightening story something that happened to me about 12 years ago. And even though it was that long ago, I still feel my heart pounding whenever I tell this story. It also turned out to be one of the best experiences of my life. This is obviously an airplane window. I have looked through many of them because I have traveled a lot in my life. I was on an airplane one day. Actually, it was one night, so looking out the window, it looked more like this. We had taken off. We were 1 or 2 miles up in the sky. And then all of a sudden, there was a loud bang. It was the kind of sound that you know instantly an airplane is not supposed to make. Now, I looked out through the window, and on a night flight, you expect to see a black sky. What I saw was flickering red. There had been an explosion in one of the engines. It was on fire, and that's what I saw. And it was terrifying, as you might imagine. Now, obviously, they got the fire put out. We landed. Everybody was safe. Nobody got hurt. Nobody died. But for the 30 seconds or so that the fire was burning, and for the 20 minutes that it took for them to land the plane, was very, very frightening. The interesting thing is, now, okay, imagine this. Everybody sort of talks to themselves. When we express thoughts to ourselves, we hear words in our head, and it feels like normal conversation. Now imagine that what you've actually been doing is not talking at all. It's more like whispering, and you had only whispered to yourself for your entire life. And then imagine that what happened was for the first time you just shouted in your mind. And that's what happened to me. That's what I felt when I had the loudest, clearest thought I have ever experienced in my life. And this is what it was. I want to live. So let's talk about living. I don't know if Huntington Hartford was a nice man or not. I didn't meet him or talk with him. I'm not saying that you or I should or shouldn't be like him. What I do appreciate about him, though, is that he lived his life. I hope you live your life. And then we have our astronaut, our rock star, or teacher, or firefighter, or president. Live your life. Thank you. The remaining slides are about the book, testimonials, webinars and workshops, and contact information. There is no more audio after this slide. Thank you, and all the best to you.